Top 50 Quotes on Love, Best Love Quotes. I'm selfish, impatient and a little insecure. I make mistakes, I am out of control and at times hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. Marilyn Monroe. You've gotta dance like there's nobody watching, love like you'll never be hurt, sing like there's nobody listening, and live like it's heaven on earth. William W. Perky. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. Dr. Seuss. A friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. Elbert Hubbard. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King Jr. We accept the love we think we deserve. Stephen Chbosky. It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. Andre Gide. As he read, I fell in love the way you fall asleep. Slowly, and then all at once. John Green. It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. Friedrich Nietzsche. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. The opposite of art is not ugliness, it's indifference. The opposite of faith is not heresy, it's indifference. And the opposite of life is not death, it's indifference. Elie Wiesel. I love you without knowing how, or when, or from where. I love you simply, without problems or pride. I love you in this way because I do not know any other way of loving but this, in which there is no I or you. So intimate that your hand upon my chest is my hand. So intimate that when I fall asleep your eyes close. Pablo Neruda. Love all, trust a few. Do wrong to none. Be able for thine enemy. Rather empower than use, and keep thy friend. Under thy own life's key. Be checked for silence. But never taxed for speech. William Shakespeare. Have you ever been in love? Horrible, isn't it? It makes you so vulnerable. It opens your chest and it opens up your heart and it means that someone can get inside you and mess you up. Neil Gaiman. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Lao Tzu. There is never a time or place for true love. It happens accidentally, in a heartbeat, in a single flashing, throbbing moment. Sarah Dessen. Love is that condition in which the happiness of another person is essential to your own. Robert A. Heinlein. You love me. Real or not real? I tell him, real. Suzanne Collins. You may not be her first, her last, or her only. She loved before she may love again. But if she loves you now, what else matters? She's not perfect. You aren't either, and the two of you may never be perfect together, but if she can make you laugh, cause you to think twice, and admit to being human and making mistakes, hold on to her and give her the most you can. She may not be thinking about you every second of the day, but she will give you a part of her that she knows you can break, her heart. So don't hurt her, don't change her, don't analyze and don't expect more than she can give. Smile when she makes you happy, let her know when she makes you mad, and miss her when she's not there. Bob Marley. I'm in love with you, he said quietly. Augustus, I said. I am, he said. He was staring at me, and I could see the corners of his eyes crinkling. I'm in love with you, and I'm not in the business of denying myself the simple pleasure of saying true things. I'm in love with you, and I know that love is just a shout into the void, and that oblivion is inevitable, and that we're all doomed and that there will come a day when all our labor has been returned to dust, and I know the sun will swallow the only earth we'll ever have, and I am in love with you. John Green. I am nothing special, of this I am sure. I am a common man with common thoughts and I've led a common life. There are no monuments dedicated to me and my name will soon be forgotten, but I've loved another with all my heart and soul, and to me, this has always been enough. Nicholas Sparks. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste. Wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. William Shakespeare. Love is like the wind, you can't see it but you can feel it. Nicholas Sparks. There is nothing I would not do for those who are really my friends. I have no notion of loving people by halves, it is not my nature. Jane Austen. People think a soulmate is your perfect fit, and that's what everyone wants. But a true soulmate is a mirror. The person who shows you everything that is holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet, because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. But to live with a soulmate forever? Nah, too painful. Soulmates, they come into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then leave. A soulmate's purpose is to shake you up, tear apart your ego a little bit, show you your obstacles and addictions, break your heart open so new light can get in, make you so desperate and out of control that you have to transform your life, then introduce you to your spiritual master. Elizabeth Gilbert. You don't love someone because they're perfect. You love them in spite of the fact that they're not. Jodi Picoult. Love never dies a natural death. It dies because we don't know how to replenish its source. It dies of blindness and errors and betrayals. It dies of illness and wounds. It dies of weariness, of witherings, of tarnishings. Anais Nin. If you can make a woman laugh, you can make her do anything. Marilyn Monroe. We're all a little weird. And life is a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall into mutually satisfying weirdness, and call it love, true love. Robert Fulghum. If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk through my garden forever. Alfred Tennyson. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. C.S. Lewis. The real lover is the man who can thrill you by kissing your forehead or smiling into your eyes or just staring into space. Marilyn Monroe. When someone loves you, the way they talk about you is different. You feel safe and comfortable. Jess C. Scott. Dumbledore watched her fly away, and as her silvery glow faded he turned back to Snape, and his eyes were full of tears. After all this time? Always, said Snape. J.K. Rowling. I've been making a list of the things they don't teach you at school. They don't teach you how to love somebody. They don't teach you how to be famous. They don't teach you how to be rich or how to be poor. They don't teach you how to walk away from someone you don't love any longer. They don't teach you how to know what's going on in someone else's mind. They don't teach you what to say to someone who's dying. They don't teach you anything worth knowing. Neil Gaiman. A lady's imagination is very rapid. It jumps from admiration to love, from love to matrimony in a moment. Jane Austen. To die will be an awfully big adventure. J. M. Barrie. So it's not gonna be easy. It's going to be really hard. We're gonna have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want all of you, forever, every day. You and me, every day. Nicholas Sparks. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. Pablo Neruda. 'Tis better to have loved and lost, than never to have loved at all. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it can. And just when you think it can't get any better, it can. Nicholas Sparks. He's not perfect. You aren't either, and the two of you will never be perfect. But if he can make you laugh at least once, causes you to think twice, and if he admits to being human and making mistakes, hold on to him and give him the most you can. He isn't going to quote poetry. He's not thinking about you every moment, but he will give you a part of him that he knows you could break. Don't hurt him, don't change him, and don't expect for more than he can give. Don't analyze. Smile when he makes you happy, yell when he makes you mad, and miss him when he's not there. Love hard when there is love to be had. Because perfect guys don't exist, but there's always one guy that is perfect for you. Bob Marley. The one you love and the one who loves you are never, ever the same person. Chuck Palahniuk. When we love, we always strive to become better than we are. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Paulo Coelho. I no longer believed in the idea of soulmates, or love at first sight. But I was beginning to believe that a very few times in your life, if you were lucky, you might meet someone who was exactly right for you. Not because he was perfect, or because you were, but because your combined flaws were arranged in a way that allowed two separate beings to hinge together. Lisa Kleypas. One is loved because one is loved. No reason is needed for loving. Paulo Coelho. In vain have I struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. Jane Austen. He's more myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. Emily Bronte. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time, they can seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it always. Mahatma Gandhi. Never love anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. Oscar Wilde. Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act, just once, with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love. Rainer Maria Rilke. We love the things we love for what they are. Robert Frost.